Here's the test. Perfect. Look how easy that comes off.
Stella, Splash, Simba, Boo, Sammy, Richard, Nancy, Goldie, Ziggy, Ringo, Eva, Hydrox, and Ditto, the Lucky Ferals.
It is 9:42 a.m. and here's Simba. Good morning, Simba. And here's Splash. Good morning, Splash. They're waiting for their breakfast. We are having a super late start to our day today. Here's Simba. He slept on my bed most of the night. So Splash and Simba did have their squeeze-up treat. They had a churro this morning, and yesterday the cats had about 250 calories each. So I'm trying to keep them in the 250 range right now. So this past week they were in the 275 range. I want to get them down to the 250 range, for the next week, for this coming week. So hopefully we can start seeing more weight loss. Another thing that happened last night is that Splash was sitting on the cat tower that has a scale underneath it. So when I saw that, what I did was I carefully turned the scale on so as not to scare him. And then I went to pet him, and I knew that when I went to pet him, he'd jump off the scale and I'd be able to see what his weight was. He was 22 pounds on the scale. Now, the last time Splash was weighed on the scale was quite a while ago, and he was 21 pounds and 9 ounces. Now, I do realize that when Splash was weighed last night, it was after eating dinner. It was after eating crunchies. So after eating a big meal, he could weigh a bit more than he normally would if I was weighing him like first thing in the morning like I do with Simba. I gotta watch Splash also. And he's been eating the same amount of calories as Simba. So they're both getting pretty much the same amount of calories. Sometimes I will sneak a few extra to Splash because he is a few pounds more than Simba. But we're working on both of these guys at the same time. It is 10:41 a.m. And here's Ziggy and Richard. And there's little Eva. And they're enjoying some fresh air from the window. It's a beautiful day right now, and I can't wait to get outside today and enjoy some of it. And I have not seen Cousin Oliver in several days now, which is fine. He could do whatever he wants. I've noticed that lately he has been coming around less than he normally does. I don't know if he's afraid of that new lounge chair that I got him with the canopy over it. Maybe someone's giving him better food. Maybe he found a new cat friend somewhere. I don't know what it is, but that's fine. He could do whatever he wants. I have 9 cats inside. Those are plenty of cats to feed and take care of. I don't need outside cats. If he comes around, if he hangs out, I do give him food. He has plenty of safe places in my yard, but it's also fine if he doesn't want to come around. So he has lots of friendly people around here who are helping cats, and that's something that I know for certain since Sammy went missing. So I just wanted to mention that and document that he hasn't been here because I know some people ask about him. It's 8:05 a.m. and here's Simba. Good morning, Simba. And Simba just got weighed on the old scale and the new scale. And on both scales, Simba weighs the exact same thing, which is 18.8 pounds. So that is great because that means our new plan is working. Over the past 2 days, the cats have gotten 250 calories, very close to 250 calories. They've been getting some lower calorie foods, so it might feel like they're eating more. So, for example, yesterday after dinner, they were at a little bit less than 200 calories. And I was like, okay, that's too low for them. I need to get another 50 calories or so into them. So then they really enjoyed playing with their crunchy mice. They had about 2.5 crunchy mice, meaning when I fill this mouse, it fills up with a tablespoon of crunchies, and that's about 34 calories for them. And I had enough calories in their budget to use 2.5 of these last night. So they were really happy. They were very satisfied. No one woke me up in the middle of the night. There were no fights in the middle of the night. Here's Splash. He's relaxing over here. It is 9:13 a.m. Here's Simba. Good morning, Simba. So Simba's been getting brushed. Right, Simba? Simba slept on my bed pretty much all night because this new routine has been working out wonderfully. There were no cat fights last night, and there was no howling. Splash did not howl because I left the TV on. I changed the settings on my Roku, so now it can just stream videos all night. There's a setting on a Roku, like when you first get a Roku, it'll only stream for about 4 hours. But if you change a network setting and get rid of the bandwidth saver, if you turn that off, then it'll just stream constantly all night and it doesn't shut down the videos. So that's been great. So I've been just getting much better quality sleep because I'm not waking up with Splash howling in the middle of the night. And if I don't set the automatic feeders for Splash and Simba, then they have not been fighting. So that's been good also. But right now I've been brushing Simba and I realized something as I was brushing him, which I wanted to document because Simba has always been like so laid back. He's like the chillest of the OG4. He was always just so easygoing, so laid back. So he's going to show you how laid back he is because he's laying back right now. So what I noticed is that he's still very much that way. Nothing has changed with regards to that. However, what has changed is the fact that Stella and Boo are not here anymore. And neither Stella nor Boo were as laid back as Simba. I mean, Stella a little bit. Stella was definitely more laid back than Boo. But Boo was definitely not what I would call a laid-back cat. Boo had a lot of energy. He was always active and, just very different than Simba's vibe. And Stella in the morning, like she would lay in my bed like this, but she was always like, let's get moving. Let's get going. Let's get our routine started. Let's get our day started. We're going to have breakfast, stuff like that. She would get me moving in a direction. Whereas Simba, nope, he's perfectly content. Perfectly content. Just hanging out here. Just laying here. Now, that's also because he had a churu this morning. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I give the cats a churu now. And Splash and Simba have been getting half of a multivitamin. Like I split a multivitamin between them because they do get vitamins in their food. And for the Lucky 7, I've been giving them either like churros or squeeze ups, or even I just open up a jar of baby food and they each get a little bit of that. And what it does is it keeps them from pestering me while I get ready for my day. But just in general, Simba is just so chill. He's just such a chill cat. And it's so funny how cats have their personalities. And their personalities really stick with them. If we look at the videos from when Simba and Splash were tiny little kittens, they still had like the same personalities that they have as adults. Right, Simba? Right, Simba? Simba's the chilled out cat. Simba, are you a hippie? Simba, are you a hippie cat? Okay, do you want breakfast, Simba? Are you hungry, Simba? Do you want to eat some food, Simba? Simba, you want a snack? Simba, would you like some crunchies? No? You good? All right. And look at what else is going on here. Look at this brush. There's not much cat hair on it at all, so I think we're getting near the end of shedding season, which starts in the spring and goes throughout the summer. Oh, you want more brushing? Brush you more? Okay. It's about 12:15 p.m. and look at this. The whole deer family's outside. The mommy, the daddy, and the baby. Look at the antlers growing. They're all taking a walk on a Sunday afternoon. That's so nice. I can't zoom in any farther. All of the hostas in my front yard, like around the front of my house, have been eaten to within like an inch of growing out of the ground. The deer love those plants. I also have a crepe myrtle bush in my front yard that is never going to grow because the deer keep eating it. And I'm not happy about that. And this year, the deer have eaten all of my potted plants in the front yard also. And they're supposed to be deer resistant. Like, I specifically bought the plants because the plants are supposed to be deer resistant. But the deer ate them anyway. Oh, look at this. There's no antlers here. Where'd the antlers go? What happened to the deer with the antlers? All of a sudden, there's no antlers. I know I saw antlers on that deer. And now there's no antlers. This is so weird. After they move on, I'm going to go outside and see if I see antlers on the ground. I swear that deer had antlers on his head. There might actually be a fourth deer out there. The deer with the antlers could be in the woods a little bit. I don't know if you could see their feet. I see the feet and the head. I can't tell if the antlers are attached. It could be four deers out there. It's hard to see. It's 3 p.m. and it just happened again, and I'm like, what is going on? So I'm sitting at the kitchen table working on my laptop. I'm actually working on the spreadsheet for Splash and Simba and how many calories they're eating today because it's lunchtime. I just gave them lunch. And I'm putting the information into a spreadsheet, and all of a sudden I feel like a cat brush up against my leg, like my shin, between my knee and my ankle. And I assume it's Sammy because Sammy was in the kitchen with me. So I look down, but there's nobody there. Nobody there. And I was like, what is going on? So I don't know if it was yesterday or I think it was the day before yesterday. I was sitting at my kitchen table working on my computer, and it felt like a cat was like touching my knee, but I kept looking down and there was no cat there. So I would like brush it off with my hand, thinking, okay, well, I don't know what that is. And then a few minutes later, it would start up again. And it made me think of Stella because Stella used to bite my knees. Like if I was in the kitchen and Stella was hungry, she would bite my knees. Like not in a way to hurt me, but she would like nibble on them. Like, you know, give me some food, I'm going to bite your knees. And it reminded me of that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if it's Stella because there were no other cats in the room with me. And then today, it just happened again. Like it's not anything that could be like mistaken. Like, you know what it feels like when a cat rubs up against your leg. Like that's what it felt like. I was like, what is going on here? Here's Ziggy and Sammy now. It is 9:45 a.m. and there's Cousin Oliver. Hey, Ox. And I saw him sitting on a patio chair today. So I just gave him all the leftover food from the Lucky 7. They had an assortment of canned food this morning. So whatever they leave on their plates, I scraped together. Then I just added some dry food to his plate. He has water. He has 2 big water bowls that I refilled yesterday. I don't know where he's been, but I was surprised to see him this morning. It's 11 a.m. and here's Nancy. And this is what she does. So the cats had breakfast, I don't know, probably like around 9:30. And Nancy never likes to eat all of her breakfast downstairs. Hey, Ziggy. So what Nancy will do is she will want to come upstairs, and I won't let the cats up until they're mostly all done with their meal, because if I open the door, they'll run upstairs before they eat. Nancy's always usually the first one upstairs. And then she runs around the house looking for Splash and Simba. Right now, they are in my room with the screen door shut because, you know, I don't need Nancy bothering them or ambushing them. And then once I start getting work done, like right now I'm sitting here on my computer trying to do work, then Nancy starts meowing at me or looking at me because she wants some crunchies. Now, I already gave her a few crunchies. So what I have to do is I have to take her breakfast plate and put it up here in the kitchen and sprinkle some crunchies on it. Then she'll eat some of her breakfast. But today, because Cousin Oliver was outside, I gave him all the leftover food. So Nancy didn't have her leftover food. So I gave her a few crunchies on a little plate. So let's see if she ate them. There's Ziggy. Ziggy likes to have a few extra crunchies also, but Ziggy is like a very thin cat, so I don't mind giving her some extra crunchies. Nancy, on the other hand, look at that. It's empty. It is 9:15 a.m. and look what I got from Walmart.com. I found these brushes, the ones that I love for the cats. They had them there. They're not available on Amazon. I think these are currently not even being manufactured. But I found them on Walmart, so I was like, well, let me get two of them, one for upstairs, one for downstairs. I'm just about to go downstairs and comb and brush the Lucky 7 as well as give them breakfast. So I'm going to open up one of these, and I'm going to hope it's just as good as the previous two that I had. Here's the brush, and it's like a perfect size for the cats, and just ergonomically, it's just so comfortable, and look how nicely balanced it is. Like, it's just awesome, and it works really well as far as the push button goes. Ready, Ziggy? So hopefully the cats will like it. Ziggy loves being brushed, but it's a new brush, so they're going to be like, what is this? Okay, you want to be brushed? Nancy wants to be brushed. Okay, Nancy. Okay, Nancy. It's perfectly cat-sized. How about you, Richard? How about you, Richie Rich? There's the hair. How about you, Sammy? You're the small one. Yep, works good on Sammy too. Here's the test. Perfect. Look how easy that comes off. You just wipe it off. Now, this brush that I got at a local pet store, I think I paid like $15 for it, is a piece of garbage. Absolute garbage. See all that hair in there? When you press the button on the back of this one, the bristles don't go all the way in, so the hair stays on the brush. Do you see like there's still bristles sticking out? This is really, really poorly made. It's about 6:30 p.m. right now, and I just set up these two feeders for Splash and Simba. I need to be out of the house as early as I can tomorrow morning. I'm going to be gone all day, maybe overnight, but I don't really know. So I am setting up the feeders just in case. So they're going to have 2 days of food, and this is what's going on in here right now. So this is their little snack for tomorrow morning, because this is set up to dispense breakfast and dinner. But I'm going to give them raw food for breakfast tomorrow, so they don't have dry food for breakfast. But this will just be a little snack, so when this turns, they'll have like a few crunchies. And then tomorrow for dinner, they're going to have crunchies for dinner. The next day, crunchy breakfast, and then the next day, crunchy lunch. Now, there's 2 different kinds of crunchies here, and I don't know if you can notice this. So these two are Origin Senior Crunchies, and these are much higher in calories than these are. These are the Tastefuls Weight Loss Crunchies. So what I had to do is make 100-calorie portions because, the cats are on set calories right now. And these are 3.8 calories per gram, and these are 3.3 calories per gram. These seem to be a little bit heavier than these. I don't know if you could see like what a difference. Volume-wise, it seems like there's a lot more food here than like in here. But these are each 100 calories. So that shows you the difference between some crunchies that are lower in calories versus crunchies that are higher in calories. I think these are like 460 calories per cup. And then these are like 340 calories per cup. So there's quite a big difference. But to be more exact, I went by their kilogram measurement and then figured out, okay, well, how many calories per gram? And then I figured out, okay, how many grams do I need for 100 calories? So that's how I filled these feeders up for Splash and Simba for this trip. And this right here is Splash and Simba's lunch, and neither of them ate their food. So this is half of a 3-ounce can of From, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, F-R-O-M-M, chicken pate. Neither of them would touch it. There's also a few pieces of freshly roasted chicken on their little plate here. For whatever reason, they did not even want to try this. So I think what I'm going to do is put this on a plate and then put it outside for Cousin Oliver if he comes by. It's 9 a.m. and here's Splash. Good morning, Splash. How are you? So I've been away for the past 2 days. It ended up that I was away all day yesterday also. And I got back last night, and while I was away, I checked the security camera footage, and Splash had a great time. He was roaming around the house. He was laying in cat towers. He was looking out of windows. At night, he was howling. I did not leave a TV on for them. I did leave music on for them, the David Tye Music for Cats CD. I left that on repeat. So they had that. And overall, it was really good. Simba and Splash did great. Here's Simba now. He's laying on my bed. So they had a churu snack this morning, and I am going to give them some Fancy Feast senior chicken pate for breakfast. Hopefully they'll eat it. And I got to get them back on their routine. So for the past 2 days, they've been eating out of automatic feeders. Yesterday they had dry food for breakfast and dry food for dinner. And then at night when I was back, I gave them some of the Delectables with gravy. I don't know if they both ate it or if only Simba ate it, but they had the option for that. I figured, let me give them some liquid after all that dry food. But they did good. The only issue that I found was with this feeder. This is a pet safe 5-meal feeder. And for some reason, this feeder did not dispense dinner on the first day. So yesterday it dispensed 2 meals, but the day before it did not dispense dinner for whatever reason. And the way I know that is because when I got home, I opened this up to check and there were still 2 meals here. They should have only been the 1 meal, which was set for breakfast today. So I had to then look at the security camera footage and figure out, okay, well, when did this not dispense? And it ended up it did not dispense dinner the first day. So it's a good thing that I had these snack feeders set up, and it's a good thing that this other feeder was set up for Splash. So Splash has his feeders, Simba has his feeders, and so they've been sharing the crunchies. Like, I noticed that on the security camera footage, that it wasn't just, Simba and Splash. They would eat a little bit and they would share from each one. So that worked out well, and thankfully it then started dispensing food yesterday also. But that's one of the reasons why I don't really trust these feeders, these PetSafe 5-meal feeders. In the past, there have been occasional instances where one of them would not dispense, but in the past, it was also Stella and Boo. So I had 4 of these feeders out at the same time. So I always figured, okay, well, if one doesn't dispense, there is food in all the others. And it's also another reason why I'm using these little snack feeders also and kind of splitting up the meals and the portions. And this was the first time that I went away that I actually had to calorie count all the portions for what was in the feeders. And so Simba got weighed this morning on the old scale. He weighs 18.6 pounds, which is the first time we've seen 18.6 on a scale. We've seen 18.8 before, but not 18.6. And then on the new scale, he weighs 18.9 pounds. So there is a discrepancy between the scales. So I've been weighing him on both scales. The trend is lower. I just need to make sure that it's not going too fast. So that's why they're going to get a good amount of wet food today to make up for the past 2 days of dry food. We're just taking everything day by day. But Simba's been in a good mood. He's been jumping on the bed. He's been on top of cat towers. He's been walking around the house. He did, however, wake me up at 5 a.m. today when he was growling at Splash in the hallway. I don't know why he was growling at Splash in the hallway, but I had to get up and just talk to both of them and be like, what are you guys doing? Why are you growling at each other? I put a toy on for Splash. I also put a few crunchies on the play rug so they would have something to do. Usually when they fight each other in the middle of the night, it's because the feeders are out and they're fighting over, who's getting what food. In which case, last night, there was no food in the feeders. And I did give them like a snack before I went to bed, but their schedule was off. So with cats, it is so important to be on like a set schedule every day. And that is, something that I've found challenging at times because prior to having these cats, I was a complete free spirit. I loathed schedules and routines and doing the same thing every day. I mean, there's still a part of me that hates it. I hate having to be on the same schedule every single day. I can't stand it. But I do it because the cats need that. Like, they need that. So that's what's been going on. It's 2:35 p.m. There's Splash and Simba. They're on top of the armoire, laying in cat beds. But I just gave them their lunch. They're having some of the wellness morsels, chicken and salmon. I don't know if Simba ate all of his already. Splash is still working on his. Simba, are you done? Meanwhile, in the living room, we have 4 members of the Lucky Seven, Sammy, Nancy, Ringo, and Goldie. They're waiting for their snacks. They know that when Splash and Simba get lunch, these guys get snacks. It's starting to get dark out, like a little cloudy. We're supposed to get some rain and thunderstorms, so I'm thinking I'll give them a snack and then head out and run some errands before the weather gets bad. It is 2:15 p.m. Here's Splash and Simba. They're eating their lunch on the bed. There's a bunch of noise coming from the open window. They're having some tiki cat today. I think it's the tiki cat tuna or something like that. And then they're having some of the Shameless Pets treats on top. So they are enjoying their lunch. I'm here with the Lucky Seven, and they are going to have some treats. Here comes Sammy, and there's Ringo and Goldie. Ziggy, Richard, Eva. I don't know where Ziggy, Richard, and Eva are. Oh, there's Ziggy. I was just calling for her. Richard, Eva. These cats are all very smart. They know their names. Right, Ringo? Right, Ringo? Right, Ringo? Right, Goldie? Goldie loves the scratch and rolls. Sammy always attacks Ringo. Headbutts. Hello, Goldie. Hello, Goldie. You ready for a snack? Who's ready? Sammy, you ready for a snack? Ziggy, you want a snack? So the Lucky Seven like to have a crunchy hunt, and I just kind of sprinkle the crunchies around. There's Richard. You must smell the crunchies. They're actually not crunchies. They're actually cat treats. There's Ziggy and Ringo enjoying some. These are the ones that I've gotten from Whole Foods. They had these on sale a while ago. It was like a clearance sale, like a last chance to buy these. So I stocked up Shameless Pets, Crunchy Treats, Superstar Crunchers, You Say Chicken with real chicken and upcycled cranberries. Whatever that means. Digestive support with pre and probiotics. But all of the cats like these, so that's why I got them. And these were treats that Stella enjoyed and Boo enjoyed even when they weren't really hungry. So I would put these on top of some food to try to get them to eat. So that's another reason why I stocked up. Thank you for watching this Lucky Ferals video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you'd like me to post more videos. And please make sure to check out these other videos that were selected especially for you.